Hey there. So I was coached the other day, and I was floored by a question that the coach asked me. My coach said, "What is God's dream about your book, His Will Alone?" And it really resonated with me. Oh my gosh, it just pierced me, really. It was like the Lord was saying, what is my will for His will alone? And that is quite a statement. That is quite a question. And it was deeply empowering, because I was having a lot of questions and pressure about, how do I get this message out? How do I get this message in front of people? And because I'm deeply passionate about it, and I love it. I absolutely love this message. So I looked at it from God's perspective. It's amazing that you would look at His will alone as, what is His will for this book? So as I was thinking about it and I was meditating on it, it took a while. I literally had no idea how to respond. I had to sit there. I had to sit there and think. I had to sit there and meditate. I had to sit there and ask, Lord Jesus, what is your will with His will alone? And what I had to do was, I had to literally say, what is the purpose of this book? The purpose of this book is not to make another notch in my ring binder and I got another book written. That's not the purpose of this. I believe the purpose is that the Lord has a deep, longing passion for His children to enter His will. Number one, it's relational. His will is deeply, deeply, passionately relational. It's union and connection. It's literally finding Him in the moment. It's literally aligning your life with His heart and His life. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And so this book is not a how-to manual. This book is an invitation. That's what I discovered. When this man asked this question of me and I started to seek the answer, I realized this book is an invitation, and it carries with it an RSVP. It's looking for a response to enter into His will. And while this book is the defense of His will alone, it also gives such vision and such compassionate understanding of His will, and of how we literally run up against, with our own desires and with our own interests and with our own vision and our own passions. And when the will of God runs slap against those, and there may be a no, there may be a not yet, there may be an absolute let's go for it now. The amazing thing is that the Father has compassion for our passions, and at the same time, His will alone is the absolute perfect, and it's absolute union, and it's where we become family. Jesus said, who is my mother, sister, brother? It is them that do the will of God. The will of God makes us family. It's relational. It's deeply passionate, but He's compassionate about our hearts, and He woos us into His will. He doesn't smack us into His will. He doesn't abuse us with His will. He doesn't give us the because I told you so. And while we may not understand always what's going on and what the will is and what the purpose of the will is, we may not understand in the moment. Ultimately, His will is invitational, wooing, deeply passionate for us to enter into something that is so much grander than we can even understand. And in this book, I go through such a beautiful, elegant heralding of His will, and why you would want His will, and what His will gives you, and what His will looks like, and how we enter into his will, and how his will and our free will are connected. And I'm amazed at the book. I am super excited about it. It's given me hope. It's given me understanding. And it's given me compassion for myself as I navigate my own desires and my own passions and my own will, as I yield it, and as I discover with curiosity his will and his intentions. He doesn't give us deep passions to frustrate us. He doesn't give us deep passions to force us to have to abandon them. We just have to submit them under his will, and his will alone is a call, a deep call to enter into the perfection of Christ. It discusses how we can live essentials in a non-essential world. It discusses how we can discover the will of God when there's confusion about it, when we have that internal struggle and resistance. How do we come into alignment with him? How do we discover his true purpose? How do we come out of a non-essential world and literally go into his essentials, which becomes our essentials and our perfect best and our deeply satisfying fulfillment? This book is about abundance. This book is about true fruitful living. This book is about entering into dynamic relationship with him. Not a tyrant God whose will is the absolute worst possible thing that could happen to us. No, this is discovering a shepherd who longs to bring us into safety, into peace, into health, into security, into perfection, into joy, into happiness. He wants us to enter into the unified life and the fulfilled life that is only found in his will and his will alone. We can struggle and we can strain against his will, or struggle and strain to find a path, or we can literally come into deep union with him and find his will alone. I hope you read it. I hope you can enjoy it. It's available right now on Amazon.com, both on Kindle as well as print on demand. It can be to your house in 2 days if you want the print copy, or you can read it immediately on Kindle. So I hope you get it. I would love to discuss this with you. I would love to do a dialogue and discover his will for us in our lives. So I love you, I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking to you real soon.